review for It Comes at Night with Joel Edgerton, directed by Trey Edward Shults. So, pretty interesting movie. 2017, about an hour and a half. Basically, they're there's been some event in the world where there's this disease out there. They don't really get into exactly what it is or what it does. It makes you sick. It makes you like puke up like black blood, and you get these sores. And Joel Edgerton, his wife, and his son are in a house that is locked down. They don't go out at night. They don't leave. There's this red door that is the entrance. The entrance to kind of a porch area. Then there's another door. But the most important door is this red door. It's in the poster. They always keep that locked. And basically society is totally broken down. They're just trying to survive in this house. And obviously bad things happen. So secure, this is the synopsis on IMDb. Secure within a desolate home, as an unnatural threat terrorizes the world, a man has established a tenuous domestic order with his wife and son. Then a desperate young family arrives seeking refuge. So yeah, this guy arrives. This is all like in the very beginning. He is in the like a room. What would you like, a foyer? I don't know, and he breaks into there. It's like a two-step process to get into the house, and he's trying to get into the red door, and they all put their masks on. They have guns, and they knock the guy out. They tie him up outside, put a bag on his head, and leave him there for like 2 days or so, or a day and a half, to basically see if he's sick. He's not. Joel Edgerton goes out there, gives him some water, tells him to explain what's going on. Who is he? Why was he breaking into his house? He says he was doing it because he thought the house was abandoned. He says that he has a family, a wife, and a young kid, a boy, that are like, I think, 60 miles away, or 50, or something like that. And they're running out of water. But he says, if you give me water, I can trade for food. We have, I think, some goats, some chickens, and maybe some ducks, too. So, because they don't have livestock, so we can give you some fresh food, you know. And we have other food, we just don't have that much water. So Joel Edgerton thinks about it. I think he leaves him out there for a little bit longer, and then he decides, okay, he's not sick. So he's talking to his family. He's like, he's not sick. And then I think his wife is like, well, why don't we just take them in here and we can all work together, you know, safety in numbers kind of thing. And we'll take the animals also, and we'll take all the food we can from there and all the supplies, and we'll take them into our house because it's a pretty big house, and we'll all just live as one happy family. Kind of. Joel Edgerton doesn't really like it, but he kind of says, okay, that could be a good idea. More people to help out. Then we'll have like livestock too. You know, maybe we can make more the babies, and more fresh food and everything. So that's basically the setup, and they go do that. Um, so it's a pretty good movie. I know some people criticize it because it's like it's kind of slow burn, and I can understand that. And also, they don't really explore what's going on because, like, I kind of almost get the feeling like that the disease almost makes you into a zombie. Like you start attacking people and get violent, but that doesn't really happen. But they like because they're in the beginning of the movie, their grandfather gets sick. He like, but your eyes become black, like almost like a zombie, like very zombie like. But they don't really get into that, so I don't know. Maybe that doesn't happen. I just kind of got that feeling. And throughout the movie, you don't see zombies, so you just kind of get that feeling. But I guess they're just afraid of other people that are gonna go loot what they have. So I don't know. Um, yeah, I know some people criticize that not that much happens. It's kind of slow burn. Um, yeah, I mean, overall, I liked the movie. It definitely has its problems. I mean, it's not too long. It's only like, only an hour and a half. It's less than that. So, but it's kind of obvious too what happens, what's gonna happen. I haven't seen any of this other movies that the director has done. He also wrote the movie, so. But I'll get into spoilers now. So spoilers. So they take him in, and of course you're like, okay, of course it's gonna go bad, and it does. You know, like it is obvious, but I still enjoyed the movie. But it is pretty obvious what's gonna happen. They take him in. Everything's pretty good for a while. They even give up their guns because that was part of the deal. He's like, you have to give us your guns, and then they'll be in a locker, which I have the key for. And there's these rules you have to follow. Like, no one goes out at night, no one opens the red door at night, only I do. And if we have masks and stuff, and you can help me, and you go out there with a mask. And um yeah, he also asks him like where, like, were you in the cities? And he's like, we were in the cities. I went to the city to basically follow my wife there, to date her, and then things started to go bad, so we left and we went to, I think it was her brother's house or his brother. That's another thing. You got to get the feeling this guy's lying to Joel Edgerton at one point. Thought that was a pretty good scene between him and what's his name, Chris Abbott. Um, so Will, they're drinking a little bit, and earlier the guy says we were at my brother's house, but then now he's dead. And then when he's drinking with him, he says he was an only child, and he's like, "Wait, I thought it was your brother." And then he says, "Oh yeah, it's her brother, but we were really close, so he was almost like my brother." So it's like, oh, okay. So maybe you get the feeling that he's not totally honest with him. But anyways, it is obvious what's going to happen. It goes bad because during one of the middle of the nights, their little son, a little boy, he sleepwalks. And of course they would have known this, but they didn't tell Joel Edgerton or his wife or son this. And he sleepwalks, and one night, he opens the red door, and but you don't really know this. Like, Joel Edgerton's son finds this little kid sleeping on the floor in another room. Kelvin Harrison, who's pretty good in the movie, and he finds him, and he grabs his hand, and he takes him back to his parents' bedroom in their bed just to go to sleep. He's like being nice, doing the right thing. Um, but then he starts walking around the house because he doesn't sleep that well, but he doesn't break any of the rules. And he starts walking around the house, and then he notices the red door is open or is cracked a little bit. And well, yeah, earlier they were out there, and they have a dog, and the dog ran off into the forest, and they heard some people out there. They thought, but they never see him. So, and it's really dangerous to go exploring, you know, because you don't know what's out there. So Edgerton's just like, the dog knows the forest, he'll come back. So they leave. This guy's really close to his dog. I mean, he has no friends, pretty much. You know, I mean, it's a pretty terrible existence, and he doesn't know anyone. He's stuck in this house all the time. Like, you could tell this guy has problems, and it's like his dog was like his best friend. Um, yeah, Kelvin Harrison, and that's Edgerton and Carmen's son. And his grandpa already just died because he got sick, and he was pretty close with him too. So, so the dog. So the door is cracked open. He then tells Joel Edgerton and his mom. They'll put the masks on and everything. They tell the other couple to stay, just to stay back. They open the door. The dog's laying there. It's sick. So the dog's sick. So they can get this disease, and is bleeding out everywhere. So then, they begrudgingly have to take the dog outside. They have to put the dog down. Kelvin doesn't like this, but it is what it is. And so they do that, and then later, when they're all talking at the table, he mentions the door was already cracked open, and they're like, "Oh, you opened it," the other family, and he's like, "No, I didn't." And then they're like, "Oh, was it the little boy?" And they're like, and then they denied it. And then they're asked if he sleepwalks, and he does. And then Kelvin says that he found him in another room, sleeping on the ground. So they all break apart their own separate ways. And, shocker, the little boy is sick. They're all sick. The other family, they're in separate rooms, or like quarantining. And they basically kick him out, and there's like a scuffle. He has a gun that he stashed, that he hid. He pulls it on Joel Edgerton. They end up kicking them out. They end up fighting them, and they end up all getting killed. Pretty brutal scene, but I mean, the movie is kind of obvious, but I still enjoyed it. And yeah, and then unfortunately, their own son Kelvin, uh, you know, grabbed the little boy's hand and took him back into their parents' room, and he ends up getting sick. And then that's where the movie ends, basically. And you don't really know if Joel Edgerton and his wife are gonna get sick, but they probably are, because they were all right next to each other, so they're all gonna die and sick. So it's a pretty dark ending. Um, it's like, yeah, I guess they shouldn't have let them in. And yeah, it's pretty obvious, but I did enjoy the movie, so definitely some problems, but um, yeah, I think that's about it, though. Check it out. It Comes at Night. Came out 2017, so like, comment, subscribe, and see you next time.